Every important job in life requires training. If you want to know how to drive, to be a lawyer, to be a doctor, you got to go through schooling, tests, get certification, make sure you know what you're doing. But when it comes to our most important job in life, we get no training at all, that of being a father or a mother. Unfortunately, kids don't come with instruction manuals. And then we're left reading all kinds of different theories to be a helicopter mom or tiger mom and be overbearing and controlling every little thing to make sure our kids are doing their best. Or other people say, be a free range parent. Let the kids go and do what they want. They'll figure it out on their own. We want them to gain independence. This could be very confusing, and this is not the kind of thing that you want to learn on the job and figure out when it's after it's too late. Luckily, the Torah gives us clear guidance in several places, and these are pisukim that we say every day, twice a day. The first one is in the first paragraph of Shema that we read in last week's parasha, and the second pasuk is in this week's parasha in Vayayim Shamawa. The first one says, Vishinantam lebanecha v'dibarta bam. You have to repeat the teachings of the Torah to your children, and you speak about them everywhere you go, and you come in and out when you're traveling in the morning and in the evening. The repetition is the key. Kids have to be able to pass the test. That if you stop them anytime in the street and you say, "What are your family values? What is the Torah all about? What are your achievements and goals that Torah expects from you?" They should be able to rattle it off easily. And if they can't, it needs a few more repetitions. Kids should know what our family stories are all about and where we come from and where we're going. And if we teach them explicitly and model it ourselves, then we get to the second pasuk in this week, which has just one letter change that makes all the difference. Ledaber bam. Instead of vidibar tabam, which means that we, the parents, will speak of them, now it's lidaber bam, teach them so that they, the children themselves, will know how to speak of them. In other words, once they pass that training, they will imbibe the Torah sufficiently so that they can become independent bearers of the tradition and then go on to teach the next generation. We know and we take it for granted that the family unit, the home, is the most important institution in transmitting the Brit and transmitting the Torah. We have wonderful yeshivot that teach our kids, but fundamentally, it starts at home. We know that. Unfortunately, we are inundated in a country, in a world where these values, the nuclear family, is at risk, is being attacked. And it's just too bad because study after study, here's one study that's quoted by David Brooks. He writes, on average, children of single parents or unmarried parents tend to have worse health, worse mental health, less academic success, more behavioral problems than do children living with their two married biological parents. Furthermore, he writes, if you're born into poverty and raised by your married parents, you have an 80% chance of climbing out of poverty. If not, then the chances are more likely that those kids will remain in poverty. Kids need parents, they need guidance. Maybe they don't like rules all the time, but they appreciate it that someone is out there looking after their well-being and showing them the right path. So we have good news. All of our camps and backyard programs are going to be ending soon, and we have no idea whether schools are going to be opening, half opening, opening for a few days and closing. But one thing is for sure, our kids are going to be spending a lot of time at home. And that means we have a challenge, but also an opportunity to become homeschool teachers. Teachers are preparing their lessons all over the world. And that means we, as parents, as grandparents, better start preparing our own lessons. Because, yeah, we usually farm out our kids and hope that the teachers in yeshiva will teach them. But really, the Torah says it's our primary responsibility to be teaching them all about what we learned from our parents, to be teaching them the laws, the values, the stories of the Torah, to mold our kids in the right way. If we do that well, then we are guaranteed success. As the pasuk at the end of Vayam Shamoah concludes, למען ירבו ימיכם בימי בניכם על האדמה, so that the days of our children should be long in the land that God has promised our forefathers, as long as the days of heaven on earth. Shabbat Shalom.